Hi, this is Gyi Tsakalakis, president of AttorneySync. I want to take a few minutes to talk about something that came up today in terms of lawyers hiring internet marketing companies, SEO companies, paid search companies, all these kind of companies that do internet marketing. So a lot of lawyers will say, well, how should I go about hiring these types of companies? Or number one, which is probably a conversation for a different time, is whether you even need one of these companies. But let's assume that you've decided, hey, I need to get some help with what I'm doing for my law firm online. And one place that lawyers will turn is their state bar associations. And I've seen this in the last 10 years of doing this stuff, that the lawyer will say, oh, well, there must be some inherent vetting done by the bar in terms of the quality of the service, the terms of the agreements. And the truth is, in a lot of instances, not every instance, but a lot of instances, the state bars don't do a lot of vetting. So whether there's some kind of partnership made or it's a member benefit or whatever it is, don't just presume that because your state bar is offering a marketing vendor as a internet marketing preferred vendor, that there's anything beyond just them making some kind of financial arrangement or some kind of deal discount for bar members. So that came up today, and I want to talk about some other ways that lawyers think about hiring internet marketing SEO companies. So should you search on Google for an SEO company? And the answer to that is maybe, but that can't be your only filter, right? So if you go online, some of the thinking is, well, if they rank for law firm SEO, they must be good at SEO, right? Because they're getting their own site to rank. Well, that might be well and good, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to get a result for you or demonstrate return on investment or meet your marketing objectives and all that stuff. So it might be a good starting point to start researching, but I'd be more interested in, once you find somebody on Google, to start vetting them in terms of their knowledge, skill, and experience. Try to find examples of their work, get on the phone with them and ask a lot of questions, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to just tell that someone's good just by doing a search on Google and seeing they come up. So another one that comes up all the time is, should I hire an SEO company for my law firm based on some kind of top SEO list? And again, the answer is probably not. It depends a lot on why that list exists. Did the companies pay to be on the list? Are they kicking commissions back to the list owner? How can you even find that out? If you have some kind of reason to believe that the list is reliable, so if the list is vetted by other attorneys who have used the service or somebody that you trust, then maybe. But again, I'd be asking a lot of questions about who created the list. Do you trust them? Why do you trust them? How did they create the list? Is there some kind of compensation for being on the list? But most of these best law firm SEO company lists are really just trash, or they're just sponsored. There's no vetting involved. They give the appearance of some kind of qualitative investigation that's really just not there. So a lot of them are pay to play. Read the fine print. Don't make your hiring decision purely based on the list. So here's another one that I hear all the time is, should I hire a law firm SEO company based on their secret system? This is a pretty easy one. No. No magic bullets here, people. When you're hearing things like proprietary system and all this kind of stuff, it's time to walk away. Anyway, that's my view of it. Maybe some people would argue other things, but there are no secrets in my view. You got to look to people that standing behind their work, giving reasons and rationale. This is should be a very transparent process. It really shouldn't be some kind of secret, someone selling the secret sauce. It's probably not very good sauce. Should I hire an SEO company for my law firm based on awards? Maybe. Not solely based on the awards. I mean, if they're getting awards for something, maybe that's a good thing. You see a lot of these companies publishing design awards, which might be great, especially if they're design awards related to conversion. So if you're getting, for most law firms, the point of their websites and the point of their internet marketing is to attract meaningful attention from potential clients and then get those potential clients to inquire about the lawyer's services and have them sign up. And so, if the award is like prettiest website builder, prettiest law firm websites, like, I don't think there's a lot there. At least in the context of internet marketing, right? So if you want to buy a pretty website, go for it. But at the end of the day, pretty websites don't always convert. Seth Godin has a great thing on his blog about that. If you search like prettiest websites and conversion, that post will come up. But the websites are not built. Most of these websites that we think about in terms of client generation aren't built to be pretty. They're built to attract attention and to convert that attention into actual potential clients and clients. So not big on the awards thing in general. Should I hire an SEO company for my law firm because my competitor uses them? So this is a classic one, right? So say you're a personal injury lawyer in Chicago, you go on to Google and you search for a personal injury lawyer in Chicago. You see who comes up, you look at a couple websites and you go to those law firm websites, you go to the bottom and you notice that a particular law firm internet marketing company tends to show up in the footer, powered by this company or site by this company or internet marketing by this company. And should you use that? Maybe, the problem is that, one, if you're finding that this company is doing law firm websites in your practice area and your location for a bunch of other firms, there's an inherent conflict of interest that, even though you can argue that search is not necessarily a zero-sum game if you start including long tail for the primary category keywords. So, your practice area and your location, getting in the Google local map pack, that kind of stuff for those high intent, high value, what they would call head terms, they're going to have to choose who's going to get there. Is it going to be your firm who's brand new or the firms they've been working with for a long time? How many firms do they have there? We're big on exclusivity. So, asking questions about, hey, how many different firms like mine in my area are you working with? Are you working with anybody that's a personal injury lawyer in my city, in my county, in my state? I don't think that's necessarily a deal breaker, but you really need to know the answers to those questions because some of these companies will work with 30 different law firms in the same practice area in the same area. And let me tell you, it's hard enough to get visibility for one firm, let alone 30. It's very likely that that's not going to be a successful situation, but just my kind of opinion on that one. And then this is another classic one is, should I hire a law firm SEO company that guarantees rankings? And this is a pretty easy one for me. No, you can't guarantee a number one ranking. If someone's guaranteeing and making a money back guarantee that you're going to rank for a specific keyword in a specific period of time for a specific page, and they're willing to make it a money back guarantee, I suppose maybe try it because, maybe they can do it, but for how long can they do that? Right. So, in a best case scenario, maybe they employ some tactic to get you up there, but can they hold it, especially if it's on the black hat end of things? The answer is probably not. It's probably more likely going to be a manual action. I would build into your agreement this money back guarantee idea, things like they guarantee that you're not going to get a manual action. They guarantee that this listing is going to comply with webmaster guidelines. They guarantee that it's going to stay up for some period of time. They're willing to do all those things and give you a money back guarantee, and you're not doing it on your primary site. Maybe it's worth giving it a shot, but I wouldn't do that kind of thing on your main domain because they might burn it down and you're never going to be able to use it again. You're going to switch your website and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, nobody can guarantee it. The truth is no one can guarantee it. Google can't even guarantee it. The people at Google can't even guarantee that you're going to be in the one spot. So, the bigger issue for me is if they're marketing themselves as guaranteed rankings, they have no problem lying. And so if they're willing to lie to you as their potential customer, they're likely going to do things on your behalf that are going to get you into some bad waters. So I would stay clear of that. Another one that comes up all the time is, we talked about this at the very start, is should I just hire an in-house SEO person versus an agency? I tend to think that if you can find a quality in-house person, that's great. A lot of the firms that we work with have in-house marketing people. The challenge becomes, can this one person operate across all of these different skill sets that are needed in order to do excellent work uh, on the internet? And there are some, it's harder. We prefer to actually work with people that have somebody as a point person in-house as an agency. But 9 times out of 10, that person gets overwhelmed or gets pulled in too many directions or can't really focus in on, all of the different aspects. If they've got support from lawyers, if it's a bigger firm, and they've got a support from a lot of lawyers, especially on content development, outreach, that kind of stuff, and they've got good technical chops, like those are usually the best situations. But at the end of the day, like if you're in a competitive practice area in a competitive location, the advantage of an agency is you get to pull in people with multiple skill sets across the board. And at least that's one of the advantages of an agency. But it's hard to say. I mean, there are firms that like that might make more sense to hire somebody in house, but just keep in mind, like the good people that you're going to hire in house, they're going to be costly. And do they have that diversity of skill sets to be able to generate results over the long run? That's always the question. And then you should weigh those options and ask a lot of questions and make decisions between agency, in-house, or both, depending on what your objectives are, your competition, your budget, all that stuff. So we said a bunch of ways you shouldn't choose your SEO company for your law firm. I like to think of it a lot of the same way that we'd recommend somebody look and vet, a lawyer, right? Ask a lot of questions, do your research, get recommendations from people that you know, like, and trust. Focus on when you're asking the questions to the firms, focus on the key performance indicators that matter. Things like increasing phone calls that your firm's going to receive from qualified potential clients, specifically from the organic search channel. So not just phone calls across the board, or not just untargeted calls and unqualified calls, but have these conversations about how you're going to measure the success in terms of clients signing up, right? And from organic search if it's in the SEO context. Growing the number of people on email lists from organic search, right? So building the list that you can nurture through emails. We love sending automated emails for, happy 4th of July if you're in the US, Labor Day, those kind of holidays that's a great way to stay top of mind. So that's another way you can do it. You can build those lists from organic search. That's another thing, not quite as strong as getting into phone calls. First time phone calls that are converting into clients. That's probably the number one. Increase the number of potential client inquiries from Google My Business. There are ways you can track specifically potential clients that are contacting through Google My Business. That's an organic play. For now, we'll see. There's more ads. We got an ad in there, and it's going to become more pay to play, is my guess, in Google My Business. But there are ways to, focus on attracting phone calls, mobile click to calls, clicks to the website, and isolating those directly through Google My Business. So that's a good one to talk about. Increasing the number of potential client inquiries via live chat from organic search. Another thing, there's more and more research and data that's coming out that or reluctant to fill out web forms. Chat bots, live chat, phone still, those are the primary ways that you're going to get inquiries. If you're trying to build the long-term list, like maybe you can do some download type stuff to get to trade the email, but I would be focused on, especially in the context of most small consumer-facing practices, you're going to be talking phone calls, maybe some live chat. But at the end of the day, whatever the goals are, they've got to relate to the organic search channel. If it's not specific to organic search, it's just not SEO, right? So you're talking about, maybe you want to do paid search, maybe you want to look at Google ads, maybe you want to look at directory listings, sponsorships, all this other stuff, paid social. If it's not coming from the organic search channel, if you can't track it to organic via Google Analytics or Search Console, it's just not SEO. There's just no way around that. So ask for recommendations from people you trust. Ask other lawyers who aren't directly competing with you. Ask other business owners who have businesses that are somewhat similar. Other professional service providers, doctors, accountants, dentists, financial planners. See who they're using, what kind of results they're getting. See what's been working well for them. And then, at the end of the day, you can also look at what other people are saying online. So whether it's in testimonials, if it's in other online communities that you're in, ask around, ask a lot of questions. Make sure that you're getting into how you're going to define success with these companies in advance, and it shouldn't be defined in things like rankings and even traffic and links. It really needs to be focused on, what should we expect in terms of potential client inquiries, conversions, whether it's phone calls, live chat, form fills, whatever you're going to get that's at the end of the day. That's the thing. That's the most important thing, and make sure you're tracking that back to organic. So hope this helps. Don't hire just because the state bar has some kind of deal with these companies. Not a great way to do it. And then, of course, if you have any further follow-up questions, you can always search for my name, Gyi Tsakalakis, or shoot me a message on Twitter at Gyi Tsakalakis. Thanks a lot. Take care.